I am Anila Thomas. Today, I am going to explain a lesson, Reproduction in Animals, of Class 8th Biology. We all know that the life processes of digestion, circulation, and respiration are essential for the survival of every individual. Similarly, reproduction is an essential life process for the continuation of a species. Can you imagine what would have happened if organisms had not reproduced? There would be no continuation of that species, and we cannot find those individuals like plants, animals, or humans anymore. So, reproduction is very important as it ensures the continuation of similar kinds of individuals generation after generation. After the completion of this lesson, you will be able to know about modes of reproduction, oviparous and viviparous animals, asexual reproduction and types, sexual reproduction, male and female sex organs, fertilization. Keywords: reproduction, asexual reproduction, budding, binary fission, sexual reproduction, uterus, ovary, testes, sperms, ovum, pregnancy, zygote, embryo, fetus, oviparous and viviparous. Let's observe the concept map of reproduction in animals. Have you ever observed a bird laying egg? Do all the animals lay eggs? No. The birds lay eggs, but not all animals reproduce by eggs. Some animals produce young ones. Viviparous and oviparous animals. Some animals give birth to young ones, while some animals lay eggs. The eggs later develop into young ones. The animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. Those animals which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. The eggs of a few animals are easy to observe because their mothers lay them outside their bodies. These are the examples of oviparous animals: birds, frog, fishes, etc. The eggs of animals like dog, cow or cat cannot be observed. This is because these animals give birth to the young ones. These are examples of viviparous animals. Modes of reproduction in animals. You have already known about reproduction in plants. Here, we will study about reproduction in animals. The animals also reproduce by asexual and sexual methods. Now, we will learn about asexual reproduction. The plants like potato, bryophyllum and chrysanthemum reproduce by a sexual method. The flowering plants reproduce by sexual method. Similarly, animals also reproduce by asexual and sexual modes of reproduction. Most of the organisms existing as male and female forms. But in lower organisms, this differentiation is not distinct. In some animals, the formation of gametes does not take place, but they produce offsprings like themselves. Since there is no gamete formation, there would be no fusion of gametes. Such process of reproduction is called asexual reproduction. The animals like amoeba, paramecium, hydra, etc. reproduce by asexual reproduction. Budding in hydra. In hydra, the new individuals develop as outgrowths from a single parent. In each hydra, there may be one or more bulges. These bulges are the developing new individuals and they are called buds. This type of reproduction in which only a single parent is involved is called asexual reproduction. Since new individuals develop from the buds in hydra, this type of asexual reproduction is called budding. The budding process is similar to budding in yeast. Binary fission in amoeba. Another method of asexual reproduction is observed in the microscopic organism amoeba. The amoeba is single-celled organism and it can change its shape frequently. The process of reproduction begins by the division of its nucleus into two nuclei. The division of nucleus is followed by division of its body into two, each part receiving a nucleus. Finally, two amoeba are produced from one parent amoeba. This type of asexual reproduction, in which an animal reproduces by dividing into two individuals, is called binary fission. Let's know about sexual reproduction. The plants that reproduce sexually have male and female reproductive parts. In this process, pollen grains produced in the pollen sac reach the stigma of a flower, where they germinate. A long tube is formed from the pollen grains that reaches the ovary. The male reproductive cell of the pollen grain travels down this tube to the ovary, where it fuses with the female productive cell. Similarly, in animals also, males and females have different reproductive parts or organs. Do you know from where the male gametes and the female gametes are produced in animals? In animals also, sexual reproduction occurs by the fusion of female gametes or ovum and the male gamete or the sperm. The fusion of male and female gametes results in the formation of zygote. It is the zygote which develops into a new individual. This type of reproduction, beginning from the fusion of male and female gametes, is called sexual reproduction. Have you ever seen a cow giving birth to a calf? A she-goat gives birth to a lamb, and a woman gives birth to a baby. Let's know about the reproductive parts in humans and the process of reproduction. Let's learn about male reproductive organs. The males produce sperms, which are quite essential for reproduction. The male reproductive organs are situated just below the abdomen. It includes a pair of testes, testes in plural, two sperm ducts, also called as seminal ducts, and a penis. The testes are egg-shaped and produce the male gametes or sperms. It is connected with a pair of seminal ducts through which sperms travel and ejaculate out with the help of penis. Structure of the sperm. Millions of sperms are produced by the testes. These are microscopic and single-celled. Each sperm has a head, a middle piece, and a tail. The head bears a nucleus. It gets energy from mitochondria present in the middle piece. What role does the tail of a sperm play? The tail moves with whip-like movements back and forth to propel the sperm towards the egg. The sperm have to reach the uterus and the fallopian tube in order to fertilize a woman's egg. Now, we will learn about female reproductive organs. The female reproductive organs are a pair of ovaries, oviducts or fallopian tubes, and the uterus. The ovary produces female gametes called ova. In human beings, a single matured egg is released into the oviduct by one of the ovaries every month. Uterus is the part where development of the baby takes place. Vagina is the passage in the body of a woman or female animal that connects the outer sex organs to the part where a baby grows or with womb. The ovum is surrounded by an outer covering. A nucleus floating in cytoplasm is found in the center of it. Like the sperm, an egg is also a single cell. The size of eggs in animals varies. The egg may be very small as in humans, much larger as in hens. Ostrich egg is the largest. Let's know about fertilization now. The first step in the process of reproduction is the fusion of a sperm and an ovum. When sperms come in contact with an egg, one of the sperms may fuse with the egg. Such fusion of the egg and the sperm is called fertilization. During fertilization, the nuclei of the sperm and the egg fuse to form a single nucleus. This results in the formation of a fertilized egg or zygote. The process of fertilization is the meeting of an egg cell from the mother and a sperm cell from the father. So, the new individual inherits some characteristics from the mother and some from the father. Therefore, there are resemblances of children with mother or father. Have a look on flowchart on fertilization shown below. Do you know about test tube babies? In some women, the oviducts are blocked. These women are unable to bear babies because sperms cannot reach the eggs for fertilization. In some men, defective sperm production and low sperm count is observed. In such cases, doctors collect freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together for few hours for IVF or in vitro fertilization. Means fertilization outside the body. In case fertilization occurs, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then it is placed in the mother's uterus. Complete development takes place in the uterus and the baby is born like any other baby. Babies born through this technique are called test tube babies. This term is actually misleading because babies cannot grow in test tubes. Key points of the lesson. Animals such as human beings, cows and dogs which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animals. Animals such as hen, frog, lizard and butterfly which lay eggs are called oviparous animals. There are two modes by which animals reproduce. These are sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. The type of reproduction in which only a single parent is involved is called asexual reproduction. In Hydra, new individuals develop from buds. This method of asexual reproduction is called budding. Amoeba reproduces by dividing itself into two. This type of asexual reproduction is called binary fission. Reproduction resulting from the fusion of male and female gametes is called sexual reproduction. The reproductive organs in the female include ovaries, oviducts, and uterus. The reproductive organs in male include testes, sperm ducts, and penis. The ovary produces female gametes called ova, and the testes produce male gametes called sperms. The fusion of ovum and sperm is called fertilization. The fertilized egg is called a zygote.